Okay, so we're going to do a quick animation just using MapFX. So this is just something simple for beginners. We're just going to do a really simple animation. Might take us 5 minutes, maybe 2 minutes. But yeah, just look at using a MapFX and see what you can create. We'll have one value that will drive multiple elements in the scene. So what you need to go to your toolbox, under the world tab, grab an axis and a geometry circle. Now that circle we want to scale up to let's say 7 in the scale all. If you click on the circle itself, let's put a hole in there, say something like, let's do 0.95. Okay, we round it up. Okay, so I'm going to name the axis 1, number the axis 1 and the circle 1. We'll number this again anyway. So I'm going to drag down 2, 3, 4 and 5, and then I'll just number these 2, 3, 4 and 5. So we got those numbered. Now I want to select all my axes, so 1 to 5. Click on number 2 on the content window. Take the scale factor and say link it to 1. Click on 3, link it to 2, scale all. Link 4 to 3 and say scale all, and 5 to 4 and scale all. So now when we scale 1, they all move up together because they're getting one value. They're all reading the next value. So 2 is reading from 1 and 3 is reading from 4 and 5 and so on. So now what we want to do is create a nice offset. So what you can do is easily just place an axis in front of the circle. So not in front, you can place it in front of the axis here, but I'll just place it in front of the circle. So if you want an axis, you can go world axes, or you can hit the spacebar, type in AX, and then it will come up the first thing, axes. There you go. You'll get used to using the spacebar to access the toolbox. Once you get used to the tools and the nodes names, you'll be like searching really fast. Anyway, let's click on an axis that we've added in and just scale it up just to create this offset. Okay, so we're going to create this offset. It can be anything. It doesn't have to be a perfect center. It could be like this, and then that could be offset like that, and that could be a bigger offset. If you want, you can go in and adjust your rings. So maybe as it gets bigger, here the hole size, so you can make that a bit more thinner. And I'll make 4 a bit thinner. There you go. And you can maybe keep 3 big, or whatever you want. Okay, so if I select my axis, number 1, I'll just right click just on the contour window. It'll just drop down and collapse the next one. So what I'm going to do is, just to make my life easier, I'm just going to create this like zigzag. Just offset them like a zigzag. Now if I go into the logic tab in the toolbox, you have MapFX. Now MapFX is cool because you can create these really quick animations, or like, you know, damping effects and like bouncing and elastic and all sorts, and they all got different properties. So but for this one I'm going to use an oscillator. Okay, and you can already see it's having an effect on the graphic as I drop it in. So I'm going to drop them on the connecting lines. That's why I created the zigzag, so it's easy for me to organize. So you can either right click, you can drag, actually you can, what you can do is you can click on the MapFX, you can drag the whole MapFX there and then select which one you want. So you could experiment and see which ones you prefer, or you can, like I said, use the spacebar, then type in oscillator and it comes up. So it just saves you a few seconds from going down here into the toolbox. Now once you've got them all on in the connecting lines, on your connected lines, select all of your oscillators, change your damping to 12. Okay, let's get an axis and let's group this so we can move this back. So let's group these all together, just scale it all down a little bit. Okay, so now say you wanted to animate all these rings. All you have to do now is just animate the first one, the scale all. So if I drag the scale all factor, you can see now get this nice ripple. Very little effort. Just by using offset and the oscillators, the math effects, I'll get this really nice ripple. So I could say, okay, get a keyframe animation if I wanted, or a mover. Let's do a mover. Where let's change the mode to one shot, and we'll say, okay, we're going from value 4. Let's say we're going 4 to 16. So it'll be minimum is 4, maximum is 16. One shot. We don't need swing. And then we just take the scaler, hit nudge, bam, bam. So every time I hit nudge, you get this nice animation. Just driving one value, so you don't have to animate each element. That's cool. And then you got the option as well. You can offset these, you know, create all kinds of cool graphics. You know, you can make these. You can do the feature UI graphic style if you want. It's not difficult, it's just lots of lines, and there you go. If you want, then you can apply. I'm now just going a bit extra now. It's just a short tutorial, so I won't spend too long anymore on this. But draw mode, you can go like lines or paths of sprites, and you know, change the scale size there. And now if I hit the nudge, bam. Yeah, you know, you got a completely different look. You can also change these. So because we're using just the axes, change that shape to something else. So I can change this tessellation, for example, just changing the tessellation or the angles and whatever you want. And now if I click on the nudge, I've still got an animation, but you know, this kind of cool animation you see. Then just go here, change that sprite size, bam. You can get these little nice animations without it doing anything. If I change that to lines, let's see what they look like. There we go. Make those thinner. You can maybe extend those and, you know, them overlap a little, and you've got a completely different graphic. And this could be just, you could have the rotations that are offset, or you could have the, you know, you could have multiple values linked. So you could have, you know, another oscillator, a group of oscillators, say just the rotation, whatever you want. Hit that and then hit start, bam. So I hope that helped you. Experiment, try different things out. Definitely experiment. You can create all kinds of cool effects really quick, very little effort, you know. And it looks like we're looking down a barrel of a gun now, but hey, I could be playing with this or not, you know, coming up with cool ideas and effects. There you go. Bye bye. Thank you again. If you can hit that subscribe and share my videos, it helps me out too. Bye bye.